What started as a little fun little thing that I threw up on my Instagram story, an Instagram poll, an Instagram question, an Instagram poll about a thing that hasn't happened but could happen, has turned into me squeezing the absolute life out of a piece of content in a hypothetical scenario about whether or not we should be doing something or shouldn't be doing something in the NCAA. Now I'm turning that into a full-blown, most difficult type of piece of content to make, a YouTube video hosted by me, the guy that talks about swimming on the internet. Well, if that intro didn't turn your brain into scrambled eggs, well, guess what? Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for surviving through that with me. My question today, my question for all of you, and my question still for myself is, should NCAA swimming, college swimming, should we have a dual meet tournament? Follow-up question, would it work? Follow-up question, would people watch it? Follow-up question to the follow-up question of the follow-up question, have humans actually landed on the moon? The answer to all of those questions is maybe. Well, we didn't go to the moon. We all know we didn't go to the moon. That doesn't make any sense. But the answer to the rest of the questions that I just posed previously is maybe. So a couple of days ago, I fired off on my Instagram story a poll asking y'all if you think that we should have an NCAA tournament, a dual meet tournament. And the answer to that was pretty dominantly on the yes, and there was interest. And in the next slide, to kind of hedge against just getting a bunch of yeses and people that would be excited about it, I kind of expected that, was the question of, if you said no, DM me and let's talk about it. So by posing that prompt there on the second slide, I got about 50 responses and got into about 50 all-out thumb battles, which is when you just DM back and forth about a difference in opinions on the internet. And yeah, I was in about 50 all-out thumb wars for the next like 3 days. It was a really good use of my time. No, but actually it was. The reason that I posed that was because my opinion on this topic is that, yes, we should have one, or we should at least try and see if it works, see if it sticks. And if not, oh well, at least we tried and at least we know now. But the reason that I posed that, if no, then tell me why, and got into all of these unnecessary 5-day long thumb battles on the internet and the DMs, was because I wanted to have my opinion on this challenged. I wanted it challenged. I wanted to see if there were holes in, this tournament. There absolutely are. I'm sure there are. We might not know where all of them are, but that's, kind of how you figure that out, is you try it in the first place. But I wanted to challenge myself and see if this is something that really could make sense. Because based on all of the data that I've seen so far, I had it on my Instagram story. I posted it on Twitter. Hopefully I'm rifling through all of these on the side of the screen next to me, or it's taking up the whole screen. You got a little bit of a break from seeing my face. UVA posted it on their Instagram story, and the poll results were pretty much on par with the poll results that I saw on my Twitter and my Instagram. And then I went all the way to making a full-on fake graphic and posting that on my Instagram feed. And if you look at the comments on that, it's a lot of what I am hoping to have in the comments section on this video, which is people actually debating and putting together a hypothetical scenario of rules and structure, and getting to kind of like feel like what it would be like if this was a real thing. Because when I posted that bracket, when I was making that bracket, I got a little bit of a look into what this could be like. When I was putting together these situations, I was thinking about the people that swim on these teams, and what that dual meet situation could look like, and where it could be hosted, and how many people could be there, and how we could sell tickets, and just started going down this rabbit hole of ideas that things that we could do for this tournament. And I think that's something that we're missing in swimming right now. And I don't want to go too deep into my own opinion, because I do want the comment section on this video to be full of what y'all are thinking, full of people talking about whether or not this could work, whether or not a certain component of a dual meet tournament could work, whether or not, we should have 12 teams, 4 teams, 8 teams. But before we get to that, I will give you my opinion on this. And then I'm going to take a step back and let y'all go down there and go crazy in the comments section, having fun with this, because I think it is fun. All right. So questions that you should be asking yourself are things like, where's the money coming from? Things cost money. How many teams should there be? When will it be? Will it replace NCAAs? I'll run you through kind of like my random numbers. I have them numbered down here. I'm going to read them off the screen because they are down here and I don't want to mess them up. And then, yeah, like I said, I'll get out of your way. So how I would set up the inaugural college swimming dual meet playoffs is, number one, I know this is a big one for y'all, it would not replace NCAAs. It would not interfere with NCAAs as we currently have it set up. It would be in like mid-November, December, in the first half of the season, because right now we have a really long season with a lot of dual meets that don't matter. A lot of dual meets that just kind of are there and we swim in them in training suits. I know there's a big debate about tech suits and training suits and dual meets and whether or not we should be wearing tech suits more often to make them more exciting. I think the real root of the problem is that dual meets don't really matter for, the season. You can definitely qualify. You can put up qualifying times for NCAAs. You can do that. But other than that, it's just, you can do that at conference. You can do that at midseason. Dual meets are just kind of around right now. So by having that meet in December and November, you could have those dual meets throughout the beginning of the year actually matter and contribute to a committee. I know committees are kind of a tricky subject right now with Florida State getting left out of the college football playoff situation. You could have a committee or a formula or whatever that puts together all of the data from those dual meets where you're suited up or not suited up or whatever we want to do, make those dual meets matter, and then give teams firepower to then, have people come and watch the dual meets because they matter. There's a serious advantage to having people in the stands firing your team up so that you can win the dual meet and then potentially get that 12 seed in the championship, which then brings me to my next thing. I think I would have it at about 12 teams. I know that's more expensive, but I do want more teams to be involved. If you want to crawl before you walk or walk before you run, it's tough because if you have 4 teams, there's going to be 6 or 7 teams that are really in that playoff picture because swimming right now is top loaded. It's top loaded. You've got a couple teams that are vying for a title. And then, some teams, honestly, you'll be able to, at the beginning of the season, look at their roster and pending they have 15 injuries on their team, they're probably going to be in the hunt for a title or are a significant favorite for the title. It's, something that makes our sport a little bit, not fun to watch. It's too predictable sometimes. But when you take those 12 teams and over the course of time, you could see teams start to really power up and do huge recruiting classes to try to get a playoff bid to get into that 12 seed. And when you set up that 12 seed tournament, it would be a 12 versus a 5. You could see a 5th place team walk into this and say, listen, we're going against a 12 seed. Let's take this one a little bit easy. And then, we'll work our way into the tournament after that. And you see a 12 seed come in, taper, shave, stack it. And this is their Super Bowl, right? This is what we see in the NCAA tournament for basketball and other sports, I'm sure. You see these upsets because teams come in a little bit too comfortable. And you have teams that are seeded 16th that just played in, and this is the biggest moment of their career. They come in high energy and they shock you. I think that would be pretty cool to see. Obviously, swimming is a little bit of a different sport. You're not passing around a basketball and shooting it into a hoop for 60 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever it is. I'm on the spot right now. I don't know how long it is. It's a little different, but it still could be fun. I would also have the meet hosted over 4 days or maybe 2 separate weekends. I haven't quite figured that part out yet, to be honest. Number 5, 6, 7, 8 are all questions on format, scoring, event lineup, etc. to make this tournament competitive, reward depth the right amount, and winning the right amount. And really the moral of this story is there's a lot that would go into this. There really is. There's a lot that would go into this, and there's a lot of things that we probably think we should have in there that we would end up, thinking maybe we shouldn't have it in there. And there's a lot of things that we might not even be able to think of right now, or things that we think shouldn't be involved in the tournament that end up being mainstays or staples or things that are necessary to have in the tournament to make it make sense and make it exciting and make it be exciting for fans specifically. Key word there. The important takeaway with what I just said over the last 15 seconds though, is that we don't know. We don't know because we haven't tried. And if we don't try, we will continue to never know if this type of format for NCAA swimming, for college swimming, could be something that shifts the core of what makes college swimming right now to the point where all of a sudden dual meets start to matter. All of a sudden teams have firepower for marketing to get people into the stands. And then we have this kind of 2-pronged season that's currently 6-7 months long and really only has February and March that are the really exciting, important times. This could turn it into a September, October, November, December, and then January, February, and March. It could really make this season turn into a real season. It could be a 2-pronged system, could be a 2-pronged thing, and it could totally fail. Most important thing is to go down in the comment section because trust me, people are looking at this stuff. People look at the amount of interaction, engagement, and excitement that y'all are showing a situation like this. People are going to be looking at how many comments are on a video like this, how many likes it has as well. That one's just me. But people are going to be looking at these comments and reading, the different thoughts that people have. You never know. I'm just going to say that. I'm going to leave it there. You never know when people are watching, when people are reading, And when someone could see a comment that you put out there on a random video on a guy's YouTube channel where he sits in a chair and talks about swimming with a cow behind him named Swimmer Guy, you never know when people are listening, you never know when people are watching, and you never know where a YouTube video talking about a hypothetical NCAA swimming tournament could take NCAA swimming. Maybe we'll get to try it someday. Go crazy in the comments, like the video. Let's run the like count up on this one. Thanks for watching. Did we go to the moon? I'm not sold on it. Bye.